So Patty is now coming online. Good evening, Patty.
Oh, hi everyone.
And you're going to talk about artificial intelligence, which is the topic, the hot topic.
Yeah. I'm so happy to be here with all of you today. I'm sorry. I live in Glasgow, but right now I'm in Amsterdam because I was invited to a Google event. Usually I have a bunch of screens in my desktop, so it's easy for me to share the slides, but today is not that day, so bear with me because I'm not used to have just one screen. So I'm going to share my slides if that's okay. Okay, I guess I'm going to share the screen. So I'm not going to be able to read the chat. So if you guys can let me know if there is any question.
Yeah, we'll deal with that for you.
All right, brilliant. Okay, let me share over here. Usually, yes, a lot of computer science in the background, but then this kind of things happens to me. Can you see it?
This is I think this is the first time I've been using StreamYard. So
just
Brendan,
click the present button and it should work.
Okay.
Tucked at the bottom. There we go.
That's working for me, Patty.
Yes. Can you see the slides?
Yep.
Yep.
All right, brilliant. Oh, actually, I can. You see only the slides, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, brilliant. Okay, so I can start. Yeah, so thank you so much again for having me. For me, it's really a pleasure to be talking to you, and I'm going to tell you why. But yeah, let's start. I'm going to talk about how to teach AI to kids at the school, how has been my experience so far, and yeah, I want to start. Let me go over here, telling you a little bit about myself. So my name is Patty O'Callaghan. I know that I have a very Irish name, but I'm originally from Venezuela in South America, and I moved to the beautiful Scotland almost 6 years ago. I live in Glasgow, which I absolutely love. I consider myself to be a new Scot. I feel very lucky to have moved to Glasgow. I know that many of you might be asking, like, why would you move out of the Caribbean to Glasgow, to Scotland? But believe me, it's really a privilege for me. So my background education is computer science with a specialization in artificial intelligence. I studied artificial intelligence many years ago when it was not as popular as it is right now, when we were just a bunch of nerds at uni. But yeah, it's been quite a journey. At the moment, I'm the tech leader of the web team in Charles River Laboratories. I am also an ambassador for Women Techmakers, which is an initiative from Google. And what we do is, of course, try to bring more girls and women into the IT field, and we do conferences. We have a group that is called Women Techmakers Scotland. We do conferences, online talks. We do a lot of mentorship. All of this is run by volunteers and is free to access. I'm also an organizer of Google developer groups in Glasgow. We do quite about the same. But we reach students and any kind of many different backgrounds. But my favorite thing to do is, my very favorite, is that I'm a volunteer teacher at codeclub. I assume that a lot of you know about this initiative, and it's part of the Raspberry Pi Foundation. So the codeclub that I run is in Jordan Hill School in Glasgow, which is a school where my kids go to. So that's why I started there. And it's been, I think I have been running the codeclub since I think 4 years ago or something like that. And I'm gonna tell you a little bit about my experience there. I was also a teacher for undergraduate students back in my uni at home in Venezuela. So I have a little bit of experience. I'm not a teacher, but I have some experience at it. A little bit, but that's what I'm going to share. And if you scan that QR code that is on the slide, you can see all of my social media and my email. So after this presentation. If you want to reach out and maybe you have a comment, a question, you can get in touch with me there. So enough about me, and let's start. So here I want to show you a very interesting, I want to start with this. It has been very interesting opportunities for the kids at the Code Club. All of them are students at Jordan Hill School, and they have been being actually technical speakers in these conferences for the Google communities, which is actually very impressive, because having these kids talking about AI projects in front of a bunch of grown-up engineers, and I'm so proud of them. It's very exciting to see. So, for example, we have there Daisy. She's 16, and she did this. You can see it like on the screen. She did a very simple website with a machine learning model that is called the Q&A. And what it does is that you can add a bunch of text, and then you can ask questions, and the machine learning model will return a bunch of possible answers to that question based on the text. So she did this website called My Smart Study Buddy. And she did it by herself. And there is a way to work with machine learning that is very easy for them, as long as they have a working knowledge of HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, just like the basics. Then the second one, it was a website for this guy. He's 14. He's a black belt in karate. So he used a machine learning model called pose detection. And what it does is that you can train the model to recognize certain poses. And he did that with, I believe it's kata moves in karate. They're very specific poses. And he created that very, very simple website that you see on the screen. And it was for the little kids on his karate group, and like for the beginners, for them to practice the kata moves at home. So it will like show the kata pose, and if they do it wrong, it will send a message saying it's wrong or it's right. So it was a really cool project. And then I don't have a picture of Luis presenting his project. He did an amazing, amazing job. He coded an application to take the attendance by every kid. You will have like a webcam at the entrance of the classroom, and every kid will stand in front of the webcam, and it will recognize the kid because of his face or her face, and it will take the attendance. Amazing application. He did a great job. Actually, we went to a conference, a Google conference in London, where I was going to be a speaker, and he came with me and he presented his work in Google London, and it was amazing. So you might be thinking, how did this happen, right? So I'm gonna tell you about it. So let's start from the very basics. So this is the way that I talk about this to kids that are maybe younger than the teenagers. Okay, so this is, let's start with that. Okay, so first we have to know what is artificial intelligence and why it is important to show it to teach that to the kids. So if you're a computer science teacher, maybe you don't necessarily know all the details about artificial intelligence, because it's a very wide term. There is many different kinds of implementing artificial intelligence. So it's very good for all of you and the kids, like, to start learning the very basics, and then you can keep on working on the rest of the definitions. So of course, AI is all around us, and I'm going to talk specifically about machine learning, because machine learning is a subset of artificial intelligence. There's many I don't know if that's the right way to say it, and I'm sorry, my English is not the best. I speak Spanish, but there are different types of artificial intelligence. So machine learning is one of them, and it's the most popular one. Everything that you use right now is probably machine learning in terms of AI. So that's what I'm going to be referring to, all right? So we use machine learning, when we are going through Netflix and we see the recommendations, or maybe Amazon, or maybe the feature in Gmail that move the spam emails to a particular folder, and so on. So it's important for the kids that they can be aware of how everything works regarding AI, and how it's embedded in their daily life, and maybe they don't realize that. So that's why we need to teach the kids. And it's also, of course, having like a knowledge and a working knowledge of AI is going to be super useful for them, even if they're not going to be computer scientists. They can create their own models that maybe they can use in their own professions, or maybe just for fun. So we're gonna get there. So this is how I start talking to the kids about AI. So actually, I'm going to show you the very slides that I use. So first of all, I tell them, okay, so you are very intelligent, you're very smart. You use your brain to think about ideas, and you come to school to learn and to play with your friends. And if you see your friends, you know who they are, you know their name, you can recognize them, and you can recognize their voices. And when they talk to you, you can actually, you know what they're talking about. So then I tell them, what about if you're a dog? Right? And then I ask them, who has a puppy? And I ask them, do you train your puppy to do tricks? And I ask them, how do you train them? And I ask them then, if you're teaching your puppy a trick, do they learn right away how to do the trick? And do your dog follow the instructions all the time, or maybe sometimes it's not that good? So I ask them, can your dog recognize you? Can they hear your voice and recognize that you are, when you call their names? And I ask them, does your puppy understand English? So they start having this image, this mental model about what is it to train something, like training a dog, like teaching the dog how to do something. Because what we do with machine learning is quite about the same in a very it's kind of an abstract idea, but we are training the model, right, to do the machine to do what we want them to do. All right. So then I show them this, and I ask them, what about these things? Can we teach these things how to do tricks? Can they hear us, or can they see us? Of course, there's always people that can say that plants can hear us and so on, but that's not the case here. Is for them to understand that it's like a two-way, let's say, activity. You are going to teach and train something, and you're going to get a response back, right? So we can get a response back from objects, even though computers are objects. All right. Then I showed them this, and I asked them, what about this? These are also things. Can these things hear you, or maybe see you? And can we teach them to do tricks? And then they will start realizing, oh yes, because most of them have these kind of devices at home. So they start saying, "Oh yes, I can talk to Alexa. I can," and she replies. Or I can ask, I don't know, Google to turn on the lights and so on. So that way they can start understanding that there is actually an AI agent in these particular objects. And then I tell them, yes, they use AI. And we start talking a little bit about that. And then I tell them, we start talking about what is artificial intelligence, and that mainly we want the machines to work better and to be actually to help humans. And that is good. It's a good idea to introduce to them, because of course the let's say perspective that they have about AI is a little bit different than the one that we adults have, right? I guess that a bunch of you, we hear about AI, and lately in the news, maybe you have seen that AI is going to bring the extinction of the human race, and we think about the Terminator, but the kids, they don't think about AI that way. So it's a good opportunity to tell them that AI is there as a tool to help us do a lot of different tasks, and to help humans to do to bring benefits to humanity. All right, so then we start talking that the machines use artificial intelligence to learn, to reason, and to understand words the same way we do, or not the same way. They try to imitate the way we learn and reason and understand words. And the way we do that is through our senses, right? And of course, we use our mind, we use our brains, we have a conscience that machines don't have. And conscience is a very tricky word to describe, and we still don't know exactly scientifically what is the conscience. But of course, there is a difference between humans and machines. But it's good to do that relation between our senses and how we use the senses to understand the world and make decisions, and how the machines have senses as well that are equivalent to our senses. So first I talk about perception, and usually, and I'm going to tell you this like a fun fact, when the kids, when they see this slide, especially the younger kids, they get a little bit scared. Like they get like a freaked out by the robot, even though the robot has like a friendly face. And that is always like, maybe I have to change the image. And it's a friendly robot, but they get scared. So that's something it's kind of particular. So, all right, we talk about perception, and I tell them that a robot using artificial intelligence can also see through cameras and interpret those images, and that is called perception, and it's the same as we use our eyes. Then we have machine learning, and of course, a robot can also learn just like we do. Maybe we read a book and we learn, and we can interpret a paragraph, and maybe we can answer questions over that test. So the robots can do the same, and the process that they use is called machine learning. And there's also speech recognition. So I tell the kids, okay, you can listen and you can speak. You can talk to a friend and you talk and you listen, and you, depending on what your friend is telling you, you can answer on one way or another. But a speaker like Alexa or so, they can also hear, and they can also understand what they're hearing, and that is called speech recognition. And usually they actually they laugh about the ears on on the speaker. And it's funny, but on the other way, let's be honest, it's a little bit creepy because we all know that these devices are all the time listening to us. And I bet that a lot of you, maybe you're talking about a brand of, I don't know, coffee, and suddenly you start seeing related posts, maybe on Instagram or something. So yeah, they're always listening to us. So we have to be careful. And this is something very interesting, because machine learning is all about a pattern recognition in many levels. And I always tell them about, we do this exercise. So I tell them, for example, can you recognize the blue stars? And then I tell them, okay, why the blue stars are different than the other stars? And they can start saying that they are a little bit smaller because of the color and so on. And then I asked them, I don't know, about the pink flowers, and I asked them to name like different attributes of all of these patterns or all of these images. And in that way, they can understand that every object has its own features, right? And sometimes we talk about the differences of a cat and a dog, and how do they know that a cat is a cat and not a dog, even though they have 4 legs and they are small and they have a tail and so on. So they can start understanding about what is an attribute, a feature, and how a feature can describe and help you classify stuff. All right. And then I tell them, okay, let's have a look at how they use AI every day. And we talk about, maybe you use Alexa or Siri, you have an alarm, and then you wake up, and maybe you can ask Siri, oh, how's the weather going to be like today? And that way you maybe use a raincoat to go to school. So they can start, maybe they don't realize that is AI. And that can like demystify, I don't know if that's the right word in English. Yeah, like to understand that AI is something that they use in their everyday life, that is not like a robot destroying stuff or whatever. Then I tell them, yeah, maybe your dad, when they're going to drive you to school, they have to see Google Maps, or, to get, maybe they're going to a park and they use Google Map in the car to get to a place. That is also using machine learning. And I tell them about, and they love talking about the Tesla cars. I don't know why. Well, because they're pretty cool. I would love to have one. But anyways, I told them about the self-driving cars and the technology about it, and they get very excited, and they can start commenting on features that the car has. And then I talk about when they watch TV, maybe they watch Netflix and there are recommendations maybe for specific movies that they like, and so on. And we talk about that is AI as well. And they can say, Alexa, switch off the lights. And then I tell them like what we have learned so far. But what I want to show you today, and let me see if I can do this, is can you see this? I think, let me see if I can share this. I'm going to share the screen. And this is the one. Okay. So the tool that I use with the kids, hopefully you can see this. It's called the Teachable Machine. And the Teachable Machine is a website, teachablemachine.withgoogle.com. It's a tool made by Google that allows you to create machine learning applications in a very, very easy way. And this is the tool that the kids at my code club use. They have used to create these projects that I told you at the beginning of the workshop, of this talk. So I'm going to do it very quickly because we don't have many time. And yeah, so you can do an image project to classify images, an audio project, or a post project, which is the one about that the kid with the karate did. But I'm going to use an image project. And the kids, they love to use the teachable machine, a standard image model. Okay, so let's say that I want to teach the computer to recognize when I'm happy and when I'm surprised. Let's do these two emotions. So I'm gonna write happy, and the other one I will say surprised. Okay, so you have those two emotions that we want to classify. And we have to give some samples to the computer so the computer can learn, right? It's like when you buy books for little kids, the books that have images like this is an apple and this is a tree. And by repetition, the kids, they start like getting the concept in their heads. So we need the images. And in this case, the video to show the computer what is my happy face and which is my surprise face. So that's what we're gonna do. So you click webcam, and you can do the same, let's say, with all of the kids. You can take 5 kids and you run this at the school, and they absolutely love it because the computer will recognize each kid. So let's say happy. So now I'm going to hold and record my face, like my happy face. Okay. So I'm gonna smile, and that's it. I have 40 image samples. All right, and now surprise. Let me switch the cam, and I'm gonna put like a surprise face. Super surprised. Okay, so now we have the training data, right? After you have that, you click train model, and this will happen. It can take more time depending on how many classes do you have, and how many images do you have per class. Okay, when the model is trained, you can test it, okay? And you see here the output, and it will classify. Well, right now it's like a little bit messy. It will classify depending on what it sees. So let's see if it works. If I'm happy, 95%. And if I'm surprised, well done. So we are actually using machine learning with this. And the cool thing is that if you click a sport model, it will give you the snippet of JavaScript code with HTML that you can just copy it and paste it on a website, and it will work. There is a way of using these using Scratch, for example, so they can create the Scratch projects, and maybe the game can do something depending on image recognition. They have done like rock, paper, scissors games, recognizing the pose of the hand. And yeah, there's many stuff that you can do. Another website that I highly recommend to you to have a look at is machinelearningforkids.co.uk. And you're going to find a bunch of resources there. But sadly, we don't have more time. I will be more than happy to tell you more about this. Actually, in Women Techmakers Scotland, we're planning to run like some workshops for teachers on how to bring AI into the schools. So if you follow me on social media, I will be posting about that, I think, in 2 weeks on my Twitter. Any question?
You've answered the first one straight away. It was going to be kind of how can we help to upskill and give teachers a bit more confidence to include stuff like this in their lesson. It's what the kids want to do and want to look at, but we sometimes feel that we need a bit more help for ourselves first. So that's great.
Yes, we are planning to run some workshops because I truly believe that is very, very important. And I have talked with Tony about this. To bring AI into the schools in Scotland, we cannot be left, behind. And the kids, they are so amazing. They have amazing ideas, and to bring this technology to them is awesome. But yes, the teachers, you guys need to be prepared. You guys need to understand what is AI and how to bring it to the kids. So that's why we want to run these workshops in person in Glasgow. We're just looking for a free venue. So if you know about it, just let me know. And it's gonna be free, but we just need a venue.
That sounds excellent. I'm sure could you do it in a school, just a school classroom?
Yeah. As long as everyone can go and it's free for everyone to attend, we will be there.
Fantastic. Well, I'll be speaking to Tony, and we'll hopefully organise something. That'd be great. And I've just posted a couple of links. As you were chatting there about
I can organize that with Tony. Yeah, and there is more tools that are very useful for the classrooms and very easy to use, like the Teachable Machine. Easy to use for the teachers and also for the kids. And small kids, like younger kids. Sorry, my English is a little bit funny sometimes. Younger kids and the older kids, the teenagers. So yeah.
Patty, some people saying that the University of Glasgow might be able to help you out with a venue, so that's Tony or Brendan posting that. So
amazing! That will be lovely. We did the Women Techmakers Scotland conference in Glasgow Uni like 4 months ago, and it was an amazing venue. It will be great. We will be happy to be there.
I'd even try and convince my school up in the northeast to let me go. I like a good day out.
Well, you know what? Yeah, like we can organize it in Glasgow Uni, but because I have my work, right? But if we organize something during the weekends, I will be more than happy to go around Scotland. If it's a Saturday to give this workshop, I would love to. I love traveling around Scotland.
Well, if you're ever up in the northeast, I'm up in Aberdeen. Just drop us a shout, and I'm sure we could try and sort out something if we could.
Yeah,
I can't promise the weather though.
If you organize a venue, and just let me know, and I can travel. I do a lot of talks around Europe, so I'm usually just jumping around and doing talks and teaching people about AI. So I'll be happy to help as long as you help out with the venue. That's the only thing I need.
The venue's probably the only thing we can help with sometimes. So yeah, I'm sure we could sort something out there.
So in my name in the video, Patineta, that's my Twitter handle. So if you want to get in touch with me, all of you can go there. And yeah, I can maybe you send me a direct message and I can share my email. So yeah.
We're given a little nudge that I think it's going to stop.
Time is up,
we get chucked out. Unceremoniously.
Thanks so much for connecting from Amsterdam as well, Patty, fitting us into a busy schedule. That was great.
Yes, I'm in Amsterdam because I was attending a Google event today, really nice. But I'm coming back to Glasgow on the weekend, so happy to be home soon.
Safe travels.
Absolutely.
Sure.
And we'll just start to wrap that all up there, Mark. I think that was a really interesting 3 chats.
Absolutely. I'm sorry I missed last night now if it was good as tonight.
Yep, and there's the third night again tomorrow that I'm hoping to be able to jump into for bits of that. It's my wee boy's birthday, so we'll see
me and baby tomorrow, I think.
Excellent.
Cool.
Yep. So again, thanks to everyone who has organised, everyone who's attended, and in particular all the people who have spoken. I think it will just cut out at some point. So
I'm sure all the links will get posted on Twitter and such and everything else. And I think the videos are getting posted once they get edited and sorted out.
Yep, they'll all be on the STACS HQ drive, and I'm sure everybody's already signed up and on there already. But that's where we're going to, and really good information in there about the calendar, the competitions, the dress code competitions we were talking about earlier on.
And for anyone who can't make it tomorrow, I hope you have a nice end of term whenever that is. And if not, we'll see you tomorrow as well.
Yep, and great summer holidays for you, Mark, and for everybody else.